Welcome to Poke Nation. And where's Heath? Apparently he's got other duties that are more important than this place.
What could be more important than this?
I don't know. I agree 100%. Chaston Tavares is sitting in for him. If you don't know Chaston, he's on the radio doing high school. He's also on the radio doing country music. More importantly, he's on ESPN Plus doing McNeese basketball and football as the color analyst. How's that?
It's certainly been interesting. Play-by-play guy, taking on the analyst role. Except I haven't done a whole ton this year because we've been with the Friday games. We've been doing a lot of Friday night football games. But after the first of the year, we will be back and rocking and rolling.
That's pretty interesting. The Friday night games are conflicting with the high school football that you do. So you're an LSU guy. So I'm going to start with LSU.
Okay.
You are an LSU guy. You are on the Lane Kiffin train, I take it.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're putting in a lot of money. They're putting their
money.
A
lot of money, a little bit of money.
Just a little bit. I wish I had some of that.
That's
the craziest part of it is they say, okay, Lane says, I don't care about the money, and then you just get the highest contract in college football.
The weird part about this with the tie into McNeese is obviously Dr. Roos running it over there, but we'll be game 2 of the Lane Kiffin era next year.
As soon as it was announced, we were on the phone, and I told you, I guess we'll get to see the Lane train in game number 2
up close and personal, and that should be wild because they'll be coming off Clemson.
Yeah.
They'll be playing McNeese. There's all these ties into McNeese now. Who's going there? What's going to happen? Is our guy next to us sitting next to us? What's he going to do? A lot of things going on. So it's going to be an interesting weekend over there.
It certainly will be. I mean, look the way that college athletics is. We weren't sure if that game was actually going to end up taking place.
Yeah.
Even just a couple of years ago, and they're able to.
We may not see it next year. Who knows what's going on and everything else?
You never know. I mean, it changes every single day.
It does, and we got opt out. I think we've had 2 teams already opt out of games next year on other levels for the very same reason of scheduling now matters differently. I think that's a lot of things the NCAA has got to figure out.
The biggest question is, does it though? Because I
don't know.
You're getting punished for playing the big early contest games when you're not the same team as you are late in the season.
It's a weird. The only problem I have with it is
Notre Dame guy here.
Yes, but what is the parameters?
Yeah, nobody knows.
Everybody that lost on Championship Saturday moves down, but one.
Hey, I would have loved for them to be out.
Magically, one survives. Magically, and we wonder who that is. Coming just hours after maybe a commentator threatened the world. Just a weird time in college football.
It is very strange. I mean, you obviously have the 2 group of 5 schools that are in. I mean, Tulane down the road here in Louisiana, and then JMU gets in.
Yeah, the only thing about Tulane is I don't want to see the same game.
Yeah, Ole Miss.
Ole Miss again.
The Ole Miss thing will be interesting because how do they play? How do they show up? I think they're going to come out. They're going to play hard. But it'll probably be a closer game this time.
But we've got 2 games that are repeats. I don't think that's fair to Oklahoma. That's already beat Alabama once. I don't really think it's fair to Tulane to play the same team if you're going to give them a chance. If you're going to give them a realistic chance, have them play somebody else.
Have them play somebody else. I'm with you.
So other than that, I love the NCAA. I think everybody knows that. Speaking of NCAA, we don't get to talk about this much, but McNeese men, when it comes to last time they were in Rhode Island, you were there, they had a pretty good weekend.
They did.
They went to Rhode Island, obviously, Tuesday night. Do you like the mid-major games?
Yeah, no, and
National mid-major games.
I think more mid-majors should schedule more mid-majors.
How do you get them in here?
And that's the tough part because, and we've talked about scheduling for the last couple of years. It's tough because, there's mid-majors. You obviously want bye games.
Yeah.
And, they also want to host home games because, you look at McNeese, they've already had to play a couple of non-D1s this year. And a lot of mid-majors are in the same boat.
Yeah.
I think that's the million-dollar questions everybody's trying to ask is how do you get them in your home arena because it's not happening a whole lot.
Well, last year, let's be realistic, is they did get Santa Clara last year. They did get North Texas.
Yeah.
So they did get 2. Now they had to go out to Santa Clara. This year they have to go to North Texas. Next year is kind of the buybacks. They do get Lafayette every other year in here and do a home and home. But you got to get the states to play each other.
I think
Tulane would be great here.
I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, look, you already have obviously your Southland schools here in the state that you're playing. But yeah, I mean, I agree. It's your Tulanes, it's the Monroes, the Tech, so on. They should. I mean, you should go alternate throughout the year and play around.
And if you do that, then you pick up your Division I games. You keep the money in the state. And you save on travel costs.
You should play a school down the road too, but I think we know why they won't play them.
They used to. They have.
Yeah, but something changed.
Something may change back. You never know what could be possibly coming.
Never know.
You don't know. There's always changes. I like the fact that.
Never say never.
I like the fact that there was a 2-year contract on their desk until they found out Will Wade was coming here. And then all of a sudden, that contract never got signed.
It never existed.
Never even existed. Oh, we lost it. It must have gotten caught in the fax machine, I think it was. The old fax machine was used.
They're not up to date there in Baton Rouge.
When we come back, Matt Viator will be our guest to talk recruiting. The #1 recruiting class in the Southland Conference. Are you surprised by that?
It's impressive. It's impressive what they've been able to do. Matt Viator's real first chance to get out and go recruit last year. Not a lot of time.
Last year he didn't have a day.
First real chance to get out and recruit, and it obviously is paying dividends.
When we come back, Matt Viator after this on Poke Nation.
What makes having a local lawyer important is it's all about relationships. When judges know the lawyer and the lawyer has established credibility over time with the court, they know enough to trust what you're telling them. Lake Charles must be a wonderful place because now lawyers all over the state claim that Lake Charles is their hometown. I thought you could only have one hometown, and I know this is ours.
Well, it's game day at the Legacy Center, and the McNeese Cowboys are warmed up and ready to play. Cowboys have a new player this year, number 22, Katie Ferdinandson. This girl loves basketball and McNeese so much she can't wait to get out on the floor. And we're off. Shoemate tips the brewer, and there goes Katie.
Ferdinandson Financial Group supports the McNeese Cowboys.
Craving a quick fix? Evans has you covered. Bring the kids in and cool off from the summer heat with their favorite ice cream. Fuel up with protein snacks and energy drinks that will power you through the day. Locally stocked and family owned with fresh food prepared daily. Evans has everything you need. Evans Corner Store. Come visit us on Ryan Street.
The Cowboys are going to do some really big things. Really big.
McNeese athletes bring big energy, big plays, and big spirit to every game. That's why Lakeside is proud to be such a huge fan. We're a hometown team too, in the business of backing big dreams across our community every day. And we always bank on big wins with McNeese Sports. Go big with Lakeside and McNeese.
Join Don's Wash Club and score big on clean rides all season. Unlock discounts on washes, interior cleanings, oil changes, and more. Whether you're tailgating or heading home after the game, keep your ride looking like a pro. Not ready to commit? No worries. Scan the QR code on screen to see what we're all about. Enjoy your ride with Don's on McNeese, Ryan, and Nelson.
All right, we're back here on Poke Nation. We've got our guest, Coach Matt Viator. Coach, how you doing?
Great, thank you.
How do you just go into that voice?
I'm doing my Heath. Go Pokes. We'll get started. Look, recruiting class. You guys were able to sign 17 new players. What was your initial thoughts on your recruiting class?
Really excited. Pretty much got everybody we want. We got a couple extra guys that, pretty late that we kind of hung in there with. And then we had to wait till Thursday afternoon, but we really wanted Lee Holmes, the linebacker from Colin. And so didn't get it Wednesday morning, but got it sometime Thursday afternoon, I think, and which it was big for us. And because we need somebody at that position, and we had identified him, and really excited about him.
The way these things go now is, and you kind of talked about this the other day, is you kind of have to go in phases. Talk to us a little more about the phases. Obviously, you go high school and JUCO, and then transfer portal and so on.
Yeah, the junior college players and Division II players, they come out first, and so you have those, and you can start kind of evaluating those guys. We've been on the high school class now since last year, so you have all your information on those guys, and then when the junior college hits basically a week before Division II did, which gives you a couple weeks before the first signing day to kind of get on those guys. And then, so to me, that's kind of phase one. Second part of this, we're going to have a weekend this coming weekend, and then possibly the last weekend, then it goes dead. But, to have an opportunity to bring in a couple other JUCO players and a Division II player. So what you see basically on social media now is the FBS players, they intend to get in the portal, but they're not in the portal. So then when January 2nd hits and people officially get in the portal, then that's going to be a mad scramble, because that weekend is dead, the first weekend in January. Then there are for us, there's going to be 2 weekends because we start school January the 20th. So the important thing is you have to get portal guys in here and in time to get them in school. And so that's a little tricky. So that's another phase of it. And then you can turn around and sign high school guys a second time, which is February the 4th. So that's the way, look, I'm pretty simple. But I have to break things down. And, okay, here's the first plan, and then here's the second phase of it. The third phase of it, to me, is the FBS transfer portion of it. And then the fourth phase of it is okay, what's high school-wise, what can we take? And, so I just have to look at it and, put it in kind of different categories moving forward and stuff. So
you now have a formula, though, you said, is you go to the high school to look at how many seniors you're going to lose and kind of want to replace that class. Then you look at transfers as kind of the portal you lose, portal you get.
I think so, and I believe that at some point, you have to have some foundation, I think, within your program and stuff. So, I had looked at it. We had messed around with it at Lafayette, when I was working with those guys, and with Coach Desimo, who I think does a great job. And, kind of how do you do this? Because, you can end up, obviously, without a foundation, which to me is high school players. Mm-hmm. However, production equals production. And so if you lose a guy in the portal, to the portal from our place, and the guy was productive, well, how do you replace that production? I don't think you can do that with a first-time high school guy, because the high school guys that we get at our level, post levels, but, they need developing. It's just hard to bring in a guy and expect them to play right away. So that's just the way I'm looking at the thing, Jim. It's not exact. Like I said, I'm not looking to the match the numbers exactly, but that's just kind of a formula that we're going to try to use. And like I said, I've watched it for a couple of years in Lafayette.
And December 16th throws another wrench possibly into the whole thing with the 5th year.
It could.
That would benefit, it seems, you guys especially. There's a lot of kids that have said they'd be interested in coming back with a 5th year. I
think it would. And, but that's something that, what we're trying to, like I said, I tell the players too, and I was on the NCAA committee from 16 to 20, and I was actually on the NCAA committee in Indianapolis whenever Todd Berry proposed the 5-for-5 rule. That was 2017 in my recollection. So everybody got all excited, and so this is something that's been going on for a while, and so, but kids read it on the internet and think it's 100% going to happen.
Yeah. And
that's not so. Yeah, we're for these kids, we're cautiously optimistic that, we could see maybe at least an injunction or something, but.
How hard is that for you guys to control, with your players? Because, you just mentioned it, you may have a player who, I think I'm going to get a 5th year. They're all excited, but you also kind of have to.
Well, they're also looking for places to live.
Yeah.
No question. And but to me, we've kind of put those guys in the transfer category is what I have. If we get them back, awesome. We already know they can play. We already know what kind of character they have. Awesome. So instead of, once the transfer portal opens in January 2nd, instead of maybe looking for this guy, well, we got him, stuff. So I think that's a good situation. I remember having a conversation with Aaron Session. He got hurt, had to miss this year, was going to come back, and and Aaron told me, he said, Coach, I want to come back, and I definitely want to come to McNeese. Well, we'll take you. He's a 6'7" offensive tackle that, all right, you try to go in the transfer portal to go get one of those. We know what kind of, we watched him practice for 3 or 4 weeks in the spring. He's a great kid. Younger brother plays on our team. Okay, you can absolutely come back because, to me, that's like having a portal guy coming back.
Yeah. Yeah, and Kobe Ham might come back. You got some other guys that.
Well, I mean, there's, I don't even want to speculate on who might, but again, it's I think there's a hearing, and what happens out of that, I don't know. But
I think you could say it's very different from your last
first tour here.
Oh yeah, no question. And no, we were joking about it in the I think at the time it happened in the press conference. But when you get a request to speak at homecoming, and Coach, would you bring the seniors? Well, I don't know who the seniors are, you know what I mean? And I remember emailing back, hey, can I bring 4 of our top players and me? I'll come speak too, instead of just having the seniors, because
you never know.
You never know who's
Nobody
going to be
knows.
senior.
No.
When we come back with more on Coach Viator, we're going to talk about the #1 recruiting class in the Southland Conference, according to 247 Sports. After this on Poke Nation.
Join Don's Wash Club and score big on clean rides all season. Unlock discounts on washes, interior cleanings, oil changes, and more. Whether you're tailgating or heading home after the game, keep your ride looking like a pro. Not ready to commit? No worries. Scan the QR code on screen to see what we're all about. Enjoy your ride with Don's on McNeese, Ryan, and Nelson.
Craving a quick fix? Evans has you covered. Bring the kids in and cool off from the summer heat with their favorite ice cream. Fuel up with protein snacks and energy drinks that will power you through the day. Locally stocked and family owned with fresh food prepared daily. Evans has everything you need. Evans Corner Store. Come visit us on Ryan Street.
The Cowboys are going to do some really big things. Really big.
McNeese athletes bring big energy, big plays, and big spirit to every game. That's why Lakeside is proud to be such a huge fan. We're a hometown team too, in the business of backing big dreams across our community every day. And we always bank on big wins with McNeese Sports. Go big with Lakeside and McNeese.
Well, it's game day at the Legacy Center, and the McNeese Cowboys are warmed up and ready to play. Cowboys have a new player this year, number 22, Katie Ferdinand. This girl loves basketball and McNeese so much she can't wait to get out on the floor. And we're off. Shoemate tips the brewer, and there goes Katie.
Ferdinand Financial Group supports the McNeese Cowboys.
We're back with Matt Viator, football coach at McNeese State, and Chaston Tavares, special guest of Heath Schwartz, doing his best Heath Schwartz impersonation.
I'm trying. Go Pokes.
That's all you got to do is just raise the fingers. Coach, I want to ask you
unbutton a button.
Unbutton a lot of buttons. You got to unbutton a lot of buttons. And maybe get a new shirt every once in a while.
Maybe, yeah.
You guys are saying all this, not me, okay, for the record. So.
I always say on this show, he can't fire me.
All right.
So here's the thing about you got the #1 class according to 247 Sports, which is nice. But you got 18 now, I think, total when you got Holmes, right?
Right.
You went really big on the offensive and defensive lines, though. Is that kind of the staple now for this level, as those are the hardest things to get out of the portal because they're in such demand?
They're very hard, and we found that out last spring. But no, I mean it's certainly a position. I think it's a developmental position. That you can bring guys that you still can develop some and stuff. So no, that was definitely a priority of ours, and we're excited about what we got coming in.
The one thing that you guys like to do is you like to protect the I-10 corridor, and you feel like you guys did that, bringing in a lot of local guys. How important is it for you guys to kind of hit on that I-10 corridor?
I've always thought it was really, really important. I think to have, to be able to work within, quote, your footprint, so to speak, and I think it worked for us here for a long time. We tried it, obviously doing that at Monroe. It's the same, basically, we had long conversations that Coach Napier set up at Lafayette. And kind of within your footprint and how you're doing it and stuff. So I think that's important. I also think that if you got to look at stuff that's outside your footprint. I mean, you can't obviously just stick your head in the sand and say we're only going to do this. But I think has to be your base, and that's the area that we know better. That's the area that I think you can vet guys better. You can find out a lot of information on guys, not just, because today, what's different today, guys, is that, you're trying to recruit a kid off of 40 or 50 play YouTube clip. Yeah. Whereas used to, we'd watch 4 or 5 full games of somebody and do all this stuff, and you're expected to make decisions, obviously, very fast. Transfer gets in the portal, here's his film. You gotta, so it's a little trickier, I guess, but I still love being able to vet guys that you're recruiting and, be able to find out as much information as you can about them.
Number one recruiting class in the Southland. Is there anybody, I know you're excited about all of them. Is there anybody specifically that you're really excited to see?
I think all the guys that we recruited, J.J. Rhodes was probably the last one we got. He's an offensive lineman from West Orange Stark. They're still playing they're going to be playing the semifinals this week, but just because he had been, committed to a couple other Southland schools and we were able to get him here, it always, starts with quarterback, I guess. Really excited about Brady. Had a great year at Barbers Hill. They got beat in the 4th round by Port Arthur Memorial Saturday. But excited to get him. He had some ties to the area. His dad was the coach at Jasper for a long time and stuff. So what I think the other thing that's a little different about our situation here is that we also have 3 of the guys are mid-year guys. They're high school guys. Brady, Cullen McIntosh from Oak Grove, and then Sammy from Southern Lab. So 3 of our high school signees are also going to be here in January, which I'm really excited to get a quarterback in here.
Yeah, that kind of changes everything because you get them all for the spring.
No question, and it's really an advantage, and it's a free semester, basically, because although their clock started, it's obviously they're not a spring sport, so it's a heck of an advantage if you can get them in here and. Get them acclimated, obviously, to college, but start the system and how you're doing things, what you're doing on offense, defense, and for a quarterback to be able to come in early, I think that's huge.
I know it doesn't mean anything to be named the number 1 class for a conference, but it does kind of show that McNeese has kind of rebounded some and is back on the upswing, doesn't it?
I don't. To be honest with you, Jim, I don't even know how they do all that. I really don't. I mean, I don't know what what the barometers and how they do all that. But I think it's good exposure for us. But again, I mean, we just identified, and I was telling somebody, they asked me that the other day. I said, well, look, that's all good, but we didn't approach and identify the players we did based off of some rating. I mean, I don't know. I don't have any idea. And I actually didn't know that till Aaron Ingram told me that. Sometime Wednesday morning that, looks like we're gonna have whatever, and then he had told me too after we got lead that we actually moved in the top 10.
Yeah.
In the country, which is good. I mean, it's good to get some recognition, but I'm not sure what that means.
Okay, how much do you have to re-recruit your own guys though? Are you doing that the whole year almost?
Well, that's another phase that I haven't talked about. So yeah, I mean, you're doing that, and the portal doesn't open till January the 2nd, but you start hearing things and so look, last week, I mean, we tried to do that and recruit at the same time and, have meetings with our guys because we only had Monday, Tuesday before Thanksgiving. Yeah. So you were kind of in a crunch there. And then so last week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're trying to sign, but we had meetings with every one of our players. And so, that's been going on, and that's actually going to happen some too this week. I'm going to have 2nd, 3rd, and 4th conversations with some of the players and stuff, and just trying to gauge where they're at, and because the portal doesn't open till January the 2nd. So right now, like I said, if you see something on social media right now, that's just somebody saying it. But what they're doing,
or somebody's uncle saying it,
and what they're doing now, and I'm not just talking about just kids here. In general, is that agents reach out to them and they put their name out and they want to see what kind of response they get before they get in. Yeah. So it's fluid.
It is. So how much different was this year for you than the last time? And did you still enjoy coaching?
Oh, I enjoyed it. Sure, it's different. The kids were good though, which is always fun. I think that. They really tried and tried to adapt to what we wanted to do, but I mean it's no question it's different. I think in a sense that guys don't come up together a lot, and especially the way this team was built. You don't have a lot of freshmen and the sophomores and juniors, and guys that come up through the system and stuff. So you have to do some things to try to build that team concept, I think, and that culture. You have to work at it a little bit more probably than what you did.
Matt Viator has been our guest with the #1 recruiting class in the Southland Conference. We'll see how that works out for them and see what else he's got left with both I guess you got the portal coming up. You've still got some junior college kids coming in. You've still got high school in February. So you got a lot of work still to do.
Still got to re-recruit our guys.
Still got to re-recruit their own guys. Well, Chaston's final thoughts after this on Polk Nation.
What makes having a local lawyer important is it's all about relationships. When judges know the lawyer and the lawyer has established credibility over time with the court, they know enough to trust what you're telling them. Lake Charles must be a wonderful place because now lawyers all over the state claim that Lake Charles is their hometown. I thought you could only have one hometown, and I know this is ours.
We're back. Obviously, a lot of interesting things going on with football, but I want to ask you, what is your biggest story of the year at McNeese? Is it Will Wade leaving? Is it Matt Viator coming back? Is it the women's program?
I think it's a collective whole. Look, you've got you've got Southland Conference Coach of the Years everywhere. Bill Armstrong could join that here in soon. You look at James Langino, Justin Hill, Matt Viator. You've got
Gazzardo,
Ayla Gazzardo. Bill Armstrong could join that here, if not this year, maybe even next year. I think that's probably the biggest. This is the most anticipated sports season of the year at McNeese Athletics. But I think it all is the whole Will Wade. Look, they were able to go to Providence and get the win there in the NCAA tournament, and that did dividends for this university. What they were able to do. They crashed the system. Will Wade leaves. Obviously, didn't necessarily want to leave.
Money starts flowing in. It seems.
Money flows in. Not only in basketball. You're seeing it in all the sports as well. I think that has to be the biggest one.
Yeah, I think that probably is too. Is the whole kind of it's under this bubble of an aggressive move by Schroyer, and we never like to give him credit here, but an aggressive move by Schroyer to bring in the investments and to see dividends paid off those investments. It could have crashed and burned too.
He's a rock star.
That's what he thinks.
He looks a
little like Santa Claus with a beard, though.
Yeah, he does. He's done a great job. We don't like to give him credit, but he's done a really good job in getting businesses to buy in. You see behind us here in the Townsley Law Arena, it's got a new name.
New name.
There's a logo on the floor with Boudreaux's. They're thinking outside of the box, and they're using a very progressive form of doing it here in college athletics that they necessarily weren't doing before to bring in revenue in a college athletic world that you have to have money.
And more importantly, is he's doing it at a level that isn't seen in the Southland Conference or really on the FCS.
Well, and you're also seeing the Southland Conference adapt. You're seeing it with men's basketball. They saw the success of Will Wade and McNeese. Yeah, and everybody is now starting to throw in more money
and knock everybody off.
Correct.
Too. We had a wild weekend. We were coming off of where Incarnate Word beats McNeese. Comes back and loses to Nichols, which hadn't won a game.
You look at UNO; they haven't had the best start to the season, but they've been in every single basketball game they've
played. Big teams.
Correct. They've been in those bigger games, and I think that's all a part of it.
Yeah, and so those are the things that I think surprise people the most is the fact that I thought we'd have a clear cut. We're going to have 2 or 3 good teams. I think there might be 6 or 7 that are going to win games that are going to knock people up.
I think you might be right. I think it'll be McNeese, SFA kind of at the top. I think UIW is really good, especially when they get hot. Davion Davis
they can hit
really
some
good.
shots.
Yeah, look, and it'll be interesting to see how the men's season plays out.
Yeah, and men and women come back Friday night. The women haven't been here since the 22nd of November.
I was just visiting with them. They've been on the road for 2 weeks. I said it's glad to be back in Lake Charles. They went to the beach. They went hot, cold, hot.
They went to the beach, the mountains, the desert. They did a whole landscape. I've driven that trip almost. It's a
chaotic.
Rough trip. But they got 3 wins. They beat every mid-major on their schedule. The only 3 losses are Power 4 losses, and they were in games in each one of them. So it's a good start for her. We'll see how they do next week and what they do on Friday night when they come back to play Texas. Or East Texas, East Texas A&M. We'll see you next time on Polk Nation.